Let me ask you something. What if I told you that one small habit could completely change the course of your life? Do you want to change your life? Then stay with me, because this will open your eyes. One habit that changed a poor man's life. There was a time when this man believed life had already decided his fate. He was poor, not just in money, but in options. Every day looked the same. He woke up late, rushed through the morning, chased work, chased problems, and went to bed exhausted. No matter how hard he tried, he always felt behind. Behind on bills, behind on dreams, behind in life. He wasn't just struggling financially, he struggled mentally, he struggled socially. He felt invisible in a world that celebrated success he couldn't touch. But friends were moving ahead, getting promotions, buying cars, starting families, while he barely managed to survive the month. People around him said things like, "That's just how life is." And for a long time, he believed them. He noticed how easy it was to waste time. Hours spent scrolling social media, nights spent drinking to escape the stress, weekends spent watching others live the life he wanted. Every distraction made him feel temporarily better, but long-term, it kept him stuck until one night, after another long and disappointing day, he asked himself a question that would change everything. What if my life isn't broken, but my habits are? That night, he made a small decision. Autism, not a big goal, not a dream that felt impossible, just one simple rule. Wake up at 5 a.m. The first morning was brutal. The alarm rang while the world was still asleep. His body begged him to stay in bed. His mind whispered excuses. Just 5 more minutes. You deserve rest. Tomorrow is fine. He wanted to reach for his phone, check messages, see what he'd missed. But instead, he stood up. No applause. No motivation. Just discipline. The early mornings felt lonely at first. The streets were silent. The air was cold. But something was different. For the first time in his life, time felt like it belonged to him. At 5 a.m., there were no distractions. No messages, no noise, no pressure from the world. So he used that time wisely. Some mornings he simply sat in silence and reflected. He thought about where he had failed and where he wanted to go. Other mornings he planned his life, wrote goals, faced uncomfortable truths about himself, and held himself accountable in ways he had never done before. He began to read books that taught real skills, finance, productivity, discipline, mindset. He listened to podcasts by men who had been where he was and had risen to success. Slowly, he trained his mind instead of escaping into video games, binge-watching shows, or scrolling social media. This wasn't easy. There were days he wanted to quit, days he felt tired and saw no results, days when nothing seemed to change. There were moments when friends would invite him out drinking, wasting hours, and he would say no. Not because he was perfect, but because he realized that his future was more valuable than temporary comfort. There were nights he felt lonely. Watching couples go on dates, seeing families spend time together, feeling like he had nothing to show for himself. Those nights tested his resolve the most, but he stayed consistent. One day became a week became a month, and then into 90 days. Something subtle started to happen. He became calmer, more focused, more disciplined. Waking up early taught him self-control. If he could beat his bed at 5 a.m., he could face difficult tasks during the day. He stopped reacting to problems and started thinking ahead. His confidence grew, not because life became easy, but because he became stronger. Opportunities didn't magically appear. Money didn't fall from the sky. Jobs weren't handed to him. Women weren't suddenly impressed. But his mindset changed. He worked better, he learned faster, he made smarter decisions. He stopped comparing himself to others and started competing with the only person that mattered, himself. Slowly, his life began to move forward. The habit of waking up at 5 a.m. rewired his thinking. He realized the real enemy was never poverty. It was comfort, sleeping in, avoiding responsibility, waiting for motivation instead of building discipline. He learned how to resist easy distractions, scrolling on social media, complaining to friends about life, wasting hours on unproductive habits. Each morning he conquered himself first. The rest of the day became easier. The mornings became his foundation. While others were asleep, he was building a future they couldn't yet see. He noticed changes in his health, eating breakfast, exercising in the quiet hours, taking care of his body. Changes in his finances, saving money, investing in himself, learning how to budget and spend wisely. Changes in his relationships, becoming more patient, reliable, and respected. And that is the real secret. The secret of 5 a.m. is not the hour itself. It's the discipline to show up when it's uncomfortable, the courage to face yourself in silence, the commitment to grow when no one is watching.